Hey team, David Benfeld here from the Soldiers, Sailors and Airmen's Association of New Zealand with 3 tips for better mental health. Guys, these tips have helped me over the years and helped me through my rough patches. They worked for me. They may not necessarily work for anybody else, but I hope they do. If you hear something you like, obviously take it on board. If it doesn't work for you, then just discard it. Hopefully something does fit. Tip number 1, find an outdoor activity that really lights your fire and keeps you fit and gets you outdoors. For me, it was hunting, fishing, diving, and kayaking that really helped me through my low times. I've thought a lot about this and I'll explain to you why I think it's really important. The benefits of outdoor activity have been studied for hundreds of years, so the benefits are not really in dispute. But from my personal perspective, what I find happens when I go into the outdoors is it seems to calm me, it helps me relax, and it puts things into perspective. Here's one of the reasons why I think why. When you're in the outdoors doesn't change to suit you, it doesn't change to suit your mood. It is what it is. It'll always challenge you. It'll always throw adventures in front of you and obstacles for you to overcome. Now, overcoming adversity is a massive boost to your confidence, and it is a positive boost to your mental health. Tip number 2 is about being a good friend to somebody. Now, there's 2 sides to this, guys. One is the person who is suffering. And for that person, I would say to be a good friend to the people around you that love you, you need to be honest and brave about what's going on. You need to have honest and brave conversations with them. You need to put your hand up and say, look, I'm having some issues, and let people help you. The people around you, your friends, your family, they all love you. Often they'll have been worried about you for a while. So it's about bravery, and it's about sticking your hand up and saying, I don't want to and I feel uncomfortable, but however, I am going to admit that I am struggling and I do need a bit of understanding and a bit of help. The second part to being a good friend is to the people around the person who's suffering. Life is so busy these days. Modern life is incredibly distracting and it is all-encompassing. It's hard to get away from it. So what happens is you don't take enough time to think about your friends or think about their mental health or think about what they might be going through. So what I would like to say is to those people, deep down you often know when someone is struggling. And deep down you don't give it the weight or the gravity that you should. Because life is distracting. Life is hard, life is tough, and you have your own battles. But all I'm saying is, if possible, sit down with them every now and then and simply ask them, are you doing okay? I've been a bit worried about you for a little while now. How are you? How are you going? Do you need help? So try and take a second to think about the friends around you, which one of them might be struggling, and then make time to sit down and have an honest conversation with them. When you're thinking about that person as well, it's important to think about a culmination of events that can affect their mental health. All the studies will show that it's often not one single event that leads to a bad mental health outcome. It's a culmination of things. It's a series of things. So if you're a little bit worried about somebody, and then perhaps they suffer a bereavement, or perhaps they become unemployed, or you know that there's financial troubles that have befallen them, definitely the time to stop thinking about yourself for a second, step up and have that conversation. The third tip, team, is about having things to look forward to in your life. Now, for me, it was always setting a goal or having something to look forward to, something that I was going to do, diving or hunting or fishing, going on a family holiday, something like that. Something to motivate you, something to work towards. It always was a factor in helping me get out of bed in the morning and help you keep going, keep fighting. fighting towards that goal. As things get harder and harder, sometimes goals like that, I realize for myself that they didn't have the desired impact. So sometimes you have to bring it right back down. And when things get really hard, the next thing you look forward to could be a cup of tea. It could be that afternoon when you see your family, or something a lot smaller. So you move down to more baby steps. But what's important is you always have that next thing to look forward to. Following on from that, all I'll say is keep fighting, keep putting one foot in front of the other, because I promise you it does get better. You just have to keep fighting. And fighting's not always the huge struggle that you're trying to do by yourself. Fighting can be that bravery to stand up, put your hand up and say, I'm struggling, and get that help. Fighting is fighting it together, and it's using all the tools that you have in your arsenal to make sure that you have a long and happy life, as long as whatever is given to you. Keep fighting, team. Stay positive, stay fit, do something in the outdoors, have something to look forward to, keep an eye on your friends. And when it comes time to have that brave conversation and you are struggling, put your hand up and say, I do need help.